All right, my friends, this is Stefanie Krievins, founder of the Pro Troublemaker Nation. Today we are here with Armando and Rachel of Creative Works. They have become dear friends, and we've had the opportunity to work together over the past year. And so I wanted to give you an opportunity to hear about their experience of working with me and what their team experienced because of their team coaching. So to set the stage, we started working together in December of 2019, and we had some very clear goals around trust, communication, cohesion, finishing projects that they started, and which I know many of you wrestle with as well. And we got started in December 2019. We were working together. We were helping them recalibrate their communication, and then COVID-19 hit, and the world came to a standstill. No big deal. But Rachel, Armando, I'd love to hear about where you thought the team was before we started working together.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. We had a really good team that all had amazing intention towards each other, towards the company. But I think that, as you mentioned, one of the things that we wanted to work on was trust. And so we lacked a little bit of the cohesion that we needed. And, it was also very easy for us to start projects and get them going. But as a creative company, we also have some of those creative tendencies where we have phenomenal ideas.
Yes.
Follow through is not always our strong suit. And so I think those were kind of the key areas that we were working on when we first brought you on board.
Yeah, I would say we would even have a little bit of a firefighting culture where we're pretty good at rolling with the punches and being able to kind of be agile in the moment, but that doesn't translate to long-term planning or procedures and day-to-day stuff. So we're looking just to kind of hone those skills a little bit and get out of the crisis mode of firefighting.
Yes. And because you all were creating crises before COVID-19, but from the urgency of your work, from so many ideas, which I totally relate to too. There's a quote in Alice in Wonderland book where it says, I once had 6 ideas before breakfast, and that is my brain. And I know that is y'all's brain too.
Yeah.
So what was the experience like working together through team coaching?
I would say our team was very very responsive to Stefanie, to you coming in and working with us. You nailed our team, like personality-wise from the get-go, and somehow had a way of getting us all on the same page. I've used the analogy before of kind of giving us the same sheet of music to play off of, and so we're all learning to trust, learning to plan, learning to communicate better. Communication was good, but we wanted it to be great going forward. And you started to pull those things out of us and teach us better ways to just to learn from each other and to respect each other and to trust each other. So.
Yeah, I think our team, by the nature of our personalities, of our age and just the type of people that we are, we're very hungry learners. We like to learn, to grow, and to find opportunities for improvement. I think that you coming in, you were able to really hone in on that. And as Rachel said, like we have a lot of different personalities though on our team, and you were able to help streamline the communication between those different personality types and make sure that when one of us was providing an idea, a concept, or whatever the case may be, that the rest of us could really hear it and that translation was there, which was not always the case, beforehand. And that was a huge problem solving, item for us as a team.
Yeah, even keying in on the fact of teaching us how to listen to each other, that was huge. We had half of our team who like to talk and the other half want to talk, and so trying to balance out how we listen to each other and honor each person's voice and idea that way was really helpful.
Yeah, I think one of the I almost felt like for those that that were a little bit more, let's say, passive in conversations, once it was kind of brought to our attention, which included me as one of those that normally will dominate a conversation, it was funny when you were like, hey, Russ, Mark, Mondo, like try and speak third, right? That way it was giving the other 3 team members always that opportunity to speak first. And the funny part about that is there were times where it would be almost like they were intentionally quiet just to see how long we could hold in that impulse.
It was fun.
And it was definitely a fun exercise for sure. Yeah, I think Russ was the one that couldn't handle the silence the most. He needed to get something out there before he started squirming.
It was never malicious. I'm so excited about an idea. I just want to tell you about it. So.
Yeah. Yes. No, that makes good sense. For those listening in that they have a growth mindset, they want to learn, they want to grow, they're a little nervous, they might be a little resistant. What would be your advice to them about considering team coaching and working with me?
I would say try it. There's so much I personally learned about myself that I wasn't expecting to learn. Every one of us has blind spots that we don't know are there. And then once we know, you can't unsee it and you have to acknowledge it and you have to work on it. I would say, yes, we learned a little bit or a lot about how to work together as a team, but I also learned a lot personally, how my actions, my words affect a project or a team relationship or anything like that. So I think there's a lot to learn if you're open to being vulnerable and letting someone coach you.
Yeah, I think there's 2 kind of mindsets or hurdles that sometimes people have with regards to coaching. There's those that, like you said, that maybe they're intimidated about the idea of it. But if you're looking for coaching, it likely means that you already know there's some things that you need to improve. Mm-hmm. So what do you have to lose? Mm-hmm. Obviously, what you're already doing is not working. Otherwise, you would have already solved those problems. So you need some help, some guidance, some structure to help you get to that next level. Then there's that other side who sometimes feel like, we don't need coaching, we already know what we're doing. There's no way that they can come in and help us and whatnot. But you know what? The best golfers in the world still have swing coaches, right? Yes. LeBron James just won, the national championship again. He still has a shot coach. He still has somebody working on his individual form. All the best athletes and highest performers have those coaches in their lives for various things. Why would you think that you're any different, even if you're already in a high performer?
Yeah, great point. And I have a coach too, because turns out you can't coach yourself. So I'm in it with you guys every single day. We got to work together through the global pandemic of 2020 as it's still unfolding and will continue to unfold, as well as some other sad events that happened at your company. And we've been together for many, many months. It's about 8 months now as we wrapped up the project. What are you most proud of now with your leadership team?
I'm practicing talking second. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, my list of proud moments for this team is fairly long, I would say. I feel like I have friends on this team, and I feel like there's a level of trust that was kind of surface level before, and part of that is just by getting to know the team members a little bit better through the 8 months, and honestly going through some pretty heavy things. I mean, when you go through a pandemic or you go through a death or a furlough or any of those things that are very major life events, and we tend to stack things up and do all of those at one time because we're overachievers apparently.
Yes.
When you do that, there's a bond that's formed that that either makes things really strong or damages things. And I think our team took that and used it to strengthen us. And I think the trust factor there is my favorite piece that has been kind of forged over the last few months, I would say.
I think that's a great point. I mean, like, we're in the business, from a motto standpoint of building memories and creating powerful emotions. And there's not many things that can create as powerful of an emotion in a business, in a life setting, than what everybody's had to go through with COVID and with some of the personal things that we've had to deal with on top of that. And how that's affected our business and our management styles, et cetera. And every good relationship, every good friendship is typically created through, as Rachel just mentioned, shared experience, right? For better or for worse. And sometimes it's actually the worst ones, the chaos that has to be, or the tragedy that has to be navigated, that can bring relationships together and make them even stronger than sometimes the good things. And I think that has been super, impressive by how much our team has come together.
I would say too, our company motto or our vision statement is that we create powerful emotions and memories. And as a leadership team, we had an opportunity to do that together. That didn't necessarily involve a project or a business purpose. We were able to do that for each other. And that set the groundwork for what we're going to do for the next several years.
Yeah.
Yep. That makes good sense. So last question, I'll let you all get on with making memories for folks around the world. Why should another team go through this process?
Because you're awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's worth it, right? I think is the easiest way to put it. There's, throughout this process, what you go in for may not be what you come out of it with.
That's right.
You will find, and to quote one of my kids' favorite movies, it's Shrek, right? You've got to peel back the layers of the onion, right? And until you do so, you may not know where the root causes of some of the problems that you have are, right? A lot of times you go into some sort of coaching or training for your team and you think that you have these set of problems here. And what you find is that out of these set of problems, maybe only one of them was a root problem. The rest were symptoms of these other underlying root problems that needed to be revealed by peeling back those layers of the onion. And that is something that's invaluable that you offer to our team, and I'm sure that you offer to others.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's when I start any coaching engagement, folks want a guarantee, a promise of what I'll get at the end. What's the KPI? And sometimes we can craft those, and we certainly crafted outcomes for you all that we guided the team towards. But I know, and I'm telling folks now at the beginning, I don't know what the end result's going to be, because we don't know if we're dealing with a symptom or a problem, or how many layers of that onion we actually have to dig through, and how many layers of the onion the team is willing to dig into with my guidance. So
I think coaching and guidance through a program like this, a lot of people, business owners, talking from an ownership perspective, you always try and find the ROI on something, right?
Yes.
And you're looking for that direct comparison. I look at coaching much more akin to how you have to sometimes look at the ROI on marketing. You don't always have the ability to have a direct one-to-one to say, I spent this amount of dollars and I got this amount of value results out of it. There are so many little things that can compound, not only for you as a business owner, but for a leadership team like it has for us, that make the value you get out of something like this exponential. And it's just making sure that you're approaching it with that kind of mindset. It just makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, I like the fact too that you and I had many coaching conversations one-on-one as well. And I felt like we had a pretty good relationship to be able to have the freedom to speak candidly about what I was dealing with, and maybe some advice that you might have had to go along with that in ways that I could kind of up my game. I don't want to give the illusion that that was easy, because self-work, the internal work that we have to do to up our game, is not easy.
Correct.
You can't be lazy about it. You can't kind of half-ass it. You have to kind of go all in on it and be diligent about doing the work, because it is worth it. And I felt like you, like, you weren't like holding on to the bike, giving us training wheels and like holding us the entire way. Eventually you had to let go and let us kind of experience that ourselves. And sometimes there was a crash and that hurt, but it was for the betterment of, getting better and learning a new skill and trying and being able to get back up again and succeed the next time. So
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah. Progress, not perfection. Practice, not everything is fixed in stone. You guys have it. Well, fantastic. Well, thank you all so much for sharing your story with the world. Letting me be a part of your work, especially during this time in your business and in your life. It was really an honor to be with you all and do this work alongside of you and be the guide, the Sherpa to get us here. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.